Hi, this is Alex from phpacademy.org with a video tutorial for the new Boston. In this tutorial we're going to again look at selectors, but this time we're going to look at the element selectors. Now obviously an element in an HTML document would look something like this. This is a paragraph element. We could also have something like a div. We could also have something like a span, as well as things like images, like that, and things like A tags as well. So there's a variety of different elements inside HTML documents, and we can use jQuery to select specific elements of our page. So for example, if we had a paragraph here and we had a paragraph here, but then down here we had a span, we're going to go ahead and create some functionality in our selectors.js file, which we've included on our page, to add some text to this paragraph here and this paragraph here, but not this span here. And then we're going to change these around a bit to see the effect that we get from that. So we've got a paragraph here and a paragraph here. We can simply reference we want to do something to a paragraph in particular, and this will work and carry out the same operation for every paragraph on the page. So inside selectors.js we want to say p. We've now actually selected the paragraph element. Now this would then apply to this paragraph here, and it would also apply to this paragraph here. However, we have a span here, so it would not apply to that. So inside selectors we can say dot text, and inside here we can place some text. So for example, hello. Now when we go over to our browser, you'll notice that we have two hellos just here. Now if I was to go ahead and change this here to a paragraph as well, this is now in the range that we've specified, or the selected set that we've specified, and therefore when we refresh the page, the text will also be inserted into that last paragraph as well. Now what we can also do is when we have elements, and I'm just going to give the example of paragraph elements in here. I'm sure with this example you can work out things like spans and divs, as well as other elements. However, what we can actually do is, because we have three paragraphs, we can choose the first, the last, or any other particular paragraph. So inside selectors.js, instead of just having p, we can then use a colon to specify which paragraph we want to apply this text to. So I'm going to type in first. Now obviously the first paragraph on the page is this one here, and therefore the only text that should be applied, or the only paragraph that should have this text in, is the first paragraph. Let's go ahead and refresh the page. Now you can see that despite us having three paragraphs on the page and selecting the P, we've selected the first as well, and therefore it's only applied this to the first paragraph. Now similarly we can also use last, so if I type last in there and refresh, obviously we can't see any difference at the moment. Let's just go ahead and put some text in here. So you can see that that hello has applied to the last element that we've specified. So obviously you can also do this with other elements. For example, if these were div elements, you could then use div and then last, or div and then first. It's entirely, obviously for the purpose you're using it, it would be entirely up to you. But for now we're using paragraphs, and we've successfully referenced all the paragraphs, and then we've chosen the first and then the last. Now you might also want to say p first, and go ahead and change this back to just p. You could then go ahead and select id equals, let's just say para. Let's just put some text in there as well. When we refresh, you can see that they've all changed. However, this is because we've specified a p, despite the fact that we've put an ID on there. In the last video we looked at referencing by an ID, it's still a paragraph. So you need to be careful when you're using this on your page, because if you wanted to, for example, just change this text in here, you've given it an ID, here you've referenced all paragraphs. Now you could solve this by, for example, copying and pasting this line down and just referencing that paragraph on its own. When you refresh, let's just go ahead and change this to something different. Hello 2. And when we refresh, we get that change. However, this is an inefficient way to do things. So at best, you need to think about how you can actually name things and where you need to reference things and which elements need to be referenced. So hopefully that will make sense. We've got 3 paragraphs here. Go ahead and try it with divs, spans, images, anything, and try and combine your other jQuery knowledge with referencing to see what you can do.